I've written the script as a reusable draft below. Have you noticed it too? That one moment in BTS Merry Go Round music video that made thousands of fans stop the video, rewind it, and ask the exact same question. How is Jimin even real? No, seriously. Because what happened in those few seconds wasn't just another beautiful idol visual moment. It felt different. It felt almost unreal. The lighting, the expression, the way his eyes seemed to tell an entire story without a single word. And now fans everywhere are completely losing their minds over it. But here's the crazy part. The moment everyone is talking about isn't even the only reason Jimin's visuals have become the biggest discussion surrounding the MV. There's something much deeper happening here. And once you notice it, you can't unsee it. The moment Merry Go Round begins, you're immediately pulled into a world that feels soft, nostalgic, and dreamlike. The music wraps around you like a memory. The camera glides through every frame with almost magical precision. And then, Jimin appears. For a split second, everything changes. It's almost impossible to explain. The energy shifts. The atmosphere becomes heavier and lighter at the same time. Fans weren't just looking at him. They were staring, trying to understand why a simple glance from him suddenly felt so powerful. Was it the styling? The cinematography? The lighting? Or was it something else entirely? That's the question that started spreading across social media. And the deeper fans looked, the more fascinating the answer became. Because Jimin's visuals in this MV aren't loud. They're not trying to scream for attention. In fact, that's exactly what makes them impossible to ignore. While other moments in the video burst with movement and energy, Jimin often appears almost calm. Almost effortless. But somehow those quieter moments become the scenes people remember most. Think about that. How often does someone dominate an entire conversation without even appearing to try? That's exactly what happened here. And then another detail started catching everyone's attention. His eyes. Yes. His eyes. Fans began pointing out how every expression seemed layered with emotion. One second there was warmth. The next second there was longing. Then suddenly confidence. Then vulnerability. All within a matter of moments. It felt less like watching a performer and more like watching someone silently tell a story. But what story? That's where things become even more interesting. Because many viewers noticed that Jimin seemed to embody the emotional heart of the MV. Every smile carried a hint of nostalgia. Every glance felt connected to something larger. Almost as if he knew something the audience didn't. And that mysterious feeling kept people watching over and over again. Frame by frame. Second by second. Searching for answers. But the more they searched, the more questions appeared. Then came the visuals that completely broke the internet. You know the ones. The scenes where the lighting hits perfectly. The scenes where his features look almost sculpted. The scenes where fans instantly started creating screenshots, edits, and reaction videos. Those moments spread everywhere. And honestly, it's easy to see why. The combination of soft lighting, cinematic framing, and Jimin's natural charisma created images that felt less like music video scenes and more like paintings brought to life. Yet there was still something unusual happening. Because despite all the praise about his appearance, people weren't only talking about beauty. They were talking about emotion. And that's a huge difference. Anyone can look good in a music video. But very few people can make viewers feel something through a single expression. That's where Jimin separates himself. His visuals aren't just visual. They're emotional. Every frame seems connected to a feeling. And suddenly fans weren't simply admiring him. They were connecting with him. That's a much stronger reaction. And that's why conversations around the MV kept growing. But then another twist emerged. Some viewers began comparing this version of Jimin to previous eras. And what they discovered surprised them. Because while Jimin has always been known for incredible visuals, many fans felt something had evolved. Something had matured. There was a new confidence. A quiet confidence. The kind that doesn't need attention because it naturally attracts it. Instead of trying to own every scene, he simply existed within them. And somehow that became even more powerful. Isn't that fascinating? The less he seemed to demand attention, the more impossible it became to look away. That's not something you can teach. That's presence. Real presence. And throughout Merry Go Round, that presence becomes impossible to ignore. Then comes the moment. The moment that truly changes everything. The moment countless fans keep replaying. The moment where the music, the visuals, the atmosphere, and Jimin's performance all collide at exactly the right time. For a brief instant, everything feels perfectly aligned. The camera slows. The emotion intensifies. The world inside the MV seems to pause. And there he is. Jimin. Looking directly into the lens. Not saying a word. Not making a dramatic gesture. Just existing. And somehow that's enough.
More than enough. Because in that instant, viewers aren't just watching a music video anymore. They're feeling something. A memory. A dream. A longing they can't quite explain. And that's why the scene became unforgettable. Not because it was flashy. Not because it was complicated. But because it felt real. In a world filled with endless content fighting for attention, genuine emotional impact has become incredibly rare. Yet somehow Jimin managed to create it with a single look. That's remarkable. And maybe that's the real reason fans can't stop talking about his visuals. It's not about perfection. It's not about beauty alone. It's about what those visuals communicate. The feelings they awaken. The memories they trigger. The emotions they leave behind long after the video ends. By the time Merry Go Round reaches its final moments, many viewers realize they're experiencing something unexpected. They came to watch a BTS music video, but they leave with a feeling that's difficult to describe. And at the center of that feeling stands Jimin. Calm, elegant, mysterious, and completely unforgettable. Maybe that's why his visuals have everyone in awe. Because the most powerful beauty isn't something you simply see. It's something you feel. And in Merry Go Round, Jimin doesn't just give fans beautiful visuals. He gives them a moment they'll remember. A moment that lingers. A moment that stays with them long after the screen goes dark. But now I want to ask you, what was your favorite Jimin moment from Merry Go Round? Was there a specific scene that completely took your breath away? A look, a smile, a single frame you couldn't stop replaying? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed reliving this incredible moment with us, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with fellow ARMYs who are still recovering from Jimin's breathtaking visuals. Until next time, keep supporting BTS, keep spreading positivity, and keep celebrating the moments that make us all fall in love with their artistry all over again.